For the culture, by the culture. This is Creatives Are All Pushing. Gapcast. For the culture, by the culture. This is Solubili Lutango with Creatives Are All Pushing. Gapcast, a podcast aimed at shining a light on the creative realm in Cape Town, South Africa and beyond. This is a special episode. We have an entertainment writer, Zenathi Femela, CEO of the Femela and former news writer at Music and Life. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, Sandy.
I'm good too. You can call me Sonobile or Lasoso. As you all know that I am not shooting the Capcast production alone. I have alongside with me my brother Violas, Zenathi Mona, and behind the camera, Kwaka Kumalo doing his thing. How are you feeling, Sivi?
I feel good, man. Besides being busy today, it was a busy day, but we're here now, we're doing this thing. Yeah, man. Yeah. So, as you said that we have a special guy today. Didn't know about him up until you pitched about him this past weekend. And then I had to do some research on it. So yeah, I have something to ask. I have so much to ask. So what do you want to say?
The reason I said that we should get him on the platform is that he plays a very vital role in the entertainment scene here in Cape Town, and how he has been constantly making sure that the guys have their press releases ready, and in terms of branding in the artist, while also nurturing the entertainment scene, he's been doing that very well.
Okay, so brother, can you tell us about you? Who are you?
Zenathi Femela is an interview writer and the CEO of the Femela from a small town of Villierdorp. But you know, Lady Frere, Lady Zulich, Ufar Bank, as he is, Fuchani Command, but 20 meters, or 20 kilometers, yes.
Oh, okay. So, how was your upbringing from Lady Frere's Zulich to where you are right now at Villierdorp?
No, I would say growing up in Lady Frere was very adventurous for me, if I'm doing right, you see. And the way I grew up in Zulich, I grew up listening to maskandi, but moving to Villierdorp opened my mind to a lot of new things in the city. So listening to hip hop or AKA from 2013 until now.
Okay.
So that's when I started listening to hip hop. Before, when I was going slightly different, I remember doing maskandi most of the time, okay, but not into hip hop, screw and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So from there now, you are growing up there. What was happening currently in your life at that time when you were listening to maskandi? In your family, what was happening? For you, to branch out from maskandi to hip hop, what was happening?
The reason I moved to Villierdorp was because of something that's personal, that happened to me. It's personal. Okay. That's why I left in the Zulich to stay. But originally I'm from Zulich, so in December I got to Wandepa.
Okay.
So stayed.
That's why the sound of maskandi.
Yeah, that's why the sound of maskandi, ocean, the color. So what was happening to me, to answer your question, uhlaka Lady Frere, then mfano olusayo ondo uthanda ediphini ufunda esikolweni esamile, you see. So nathi bomami into esenzeka internet ayingekho kangako to internet nezinye izinto ayingekho kangako.
Okay, so you would say you were heavy at that moment, just having that time of your life there, no stress, nothing.
You see, at that time I would say I was happy, but now I wouldn't say I was happy, see.
Okay. Since you got the exposure to different things in life.
That's a beautiful thing about exposure.
Okay, sure. You can take it from so what you want to say.
I can keep on.
You can keep on. Okay. So as now coming from Lady Frere to Villierdorp, what drive you there, to push yourself into the media space, in the creative space? What push you from that standpoint?
I would say what pushed me there is is what was happening in my environment. You see, growing up in Villierdorp is not and seeing a kid like me moving to media spaces is a privilege.
Okay.
It's a privilege.
Yeah.
It's not something that happens a lot of times in youth as Villierdorp. So moving into media spaces, it was because of Tanumzo Dandir.
Sure.
They wrote me Banzala who's a music in life, but now can say born potential writing perspective like you so we need you to be part of this thing.
Okay.
To engrave the part of excellence from the part of the writing perspective to creativity.
Okay, sure. So when did you start becoming the part of the media space, like coming from Lady Frere, and then what inspired you to write down your first post at that moment when you were writing blogging on the 15th of June 2022?
It was can you repeat the question?
So what was happening for you coming from Lady Frere to a teacher? What inspired you from there at that moment? Going out and going to Villierdorp, and then from there meeting people that you have mentioned that now that you kind of wrote articles or I would say blog posts that were transpiring into something that they got the attraction of putting you to a platform. What was happening for you to start writing those things and then carrying them further?
What was happening to me at that time, it was after I lost my brother.
Okay.
No, it's not like my brother, political brother, but it was my schoolmate. Yes, when I used to write on Facebook, we post where I dwell more on my thoughts because the way I perceive the internet, to me, I perceive internet as a healing part for me, a healing process. Even though we call on Twitter that are heartless, ruthless.
Sure.
So
especially Twitter.
Yes, especially Twitter. So
X.
It's formerly X now, yeah.
Ukumuvela phakula spaces inja kungenxa because when ngiqala ukubhala mina ndandibhala regarding into zami indlela engicinga ngayo into endizicingayo indlela endibona ngayo i-environment into yapha engingqini Villierdorp everything.
Okay. Do you have something to say about it?
By the way, as we use it, you're very good with the pen. Why didn't you pursue journalism when you were related to media or we are professional because we entertainment writer that is not professional. No way, it has its own difficulties. So but you chose not to do not to go down the conventional way of going for a degree. But degree, it didn't stop you from pursuing dreams to be an entertainment writer, and then what comes to you.
Yes.
But it's all for music in life. How is the feeling?
Before music in life, I didn't know I was a good writer. See? So Tanumzo approaching me to write and stuff about music in life was at the time I was a student at Northleaf College. So I was a student there, busy with tourism and stuff. So when Tanumzo and Tandera approached me to go and buy music in life, so that was damn, I'm a really good writer or what. So let me uncover this part, you see. So that's why.
Okay. So do you have any inspiration or a point of reference of someone you say that is in this field that you know that this guy, it's one of those guys that you look up to?
Anna Shemba from Music in Africa.
Sure.
The guy can write, can master his pen.
Yeah.
You see, the thing, what I love about writing is manipulative of words.
Sure.
If you can manipulate your words and turn them to, it's like you're watching a reality show that's about education, but at the same time it's entertaining. You see. That's what I love about writing. Manipulate your words and...
Okay. So
I see you mentioned about who are those people and what role do they play in the entertainment industry at Cape Town?
Uzolani Chama, Tanumzo, also known as Uzolani Chama, is in
For
AR.
someone who might not know
Tanumzo is in AR and former founder of Zocha, a distribution company. And part of Music and Life, and now is part of the Populous Marketing. Undira and the founder of Undira Creatives. They're shooting music videos and stuff.
Okay, so they to form in Music in Life.
Yeah, but I think they formed in Music in Life before COVID, because after COVID decided to slow down, pinda back dollar food, because before Music in Life you didn't get Music in Life. What we call Maval, or severe Maval,
Maval Media.
Yeah, Maval Media, yes. But we call Bona Music in Life be banned. So after he looked at me, he took away his
restrictions.
Yeah. So then get the answer of Music in Life. It was at the death of COVID. Yeah.
Okay, so in terms of payment, as a writer, like which manner in a remunerations of one to okay in a Nancy man who take data to go out and get resources, because as is those bala you upload it on the internet. So as Bob said for Music in Life, there's this thing that he intervenes from as an employer and employee.
In terms of
report them school so like like contract in Music in Life. This thing in terms about could stories in Aka, like.
So my part in Music in Life was to write about what is transpiring in the streets, you see. So I cannot say much about the deadline going on and articles. And to go back to a question, and sense money, no generating income. It was just me partaking window and a fruitful we keep them yes.
So how was your journey then from your first blog post to where you are right now? Like, how has been the journey?
Because you published a lot,
it has been a fruitful journey. Not in terms of financially, but in terms of building relationship with people that can see, that can make me think beyond this.
I see that Bona magazine has published an article about your endeavor for another height of your career. Can you tell us about Bona magazine and how it came about for you to be part of the publication of stories that are told there?
So when I started the Femela, I was actually planning the PR of it until it was registered official. So the Bona magazine, the Cape Town TV was part of those PR plans when you can color TV in the newspaper and the approaching journalist who actually writes at Bona magazines. So I approached her to write about the inception of my company. She said no problem, I can write about it then. That's how it came about like that. Yes.
And I see that also, like, we have a quote there. It says that my journey at Music in Life led me to start my own company as I saw the lack of artists not professionalizing their press release for coverage, while some of them have no idea of the importance of having a PR run. So can you tell us more about that quote?
Yeah, I have said in the quote. In Music in Life, it was in ups and downs. It downs was when an artist have no idea about the press release, which is press release is a document where you dwell more on your release and what led you to create that release or release it. That's a press release. And the press kit is when you detail more on your journey as an artist. You include your achievements, on your work, and everything that have transpired throughout the course of your journey.
Okay.
So like importance yayo lo press kit, the press release, you don't need artist like that is coming up. How important is a press kit to like an upcoming artist?
Nowadays, press kit is important, especially when you're approaching a journalist to write about your release. When you're approaching a Cape Town TV, for example, for an interview, then you have to send them your press kit.
So you guys better send at Zenathi Femela, you ask him to do your press kits and press releases too.
So do you wanna say something, Diet?
So I mean, like I'm sorry to track back.
Yes.
But you spoke about where you come from. That you thought you were happy where you were until you discovered places outside your original place or where you came from.
Yes.
How important is it for like people to to go outside of their comfort zone and find other places and explore to actually find themselves and find new ideas and new things to do. Also, I wanted to ask the importance, right? People just release music and without even warning the audiences, right? I believe that is also your line of work. I wanted to ask the importance of doing a work before you drop an album, before you drop a single. How important is that, to catch up with the audience?
To answer,
try back first, like from the first question, is he asked that coming from where you are coming from and you saw yourself that you were not happy at that moment where you at, and then moving from there now to Villierdorp, and then you find yourself to sort of exposure. So can you take it from there first and then you take it to the music side, like on an artist coming with an overall song and everything?
No, you see, living in a small town, I wouldn't say it personally grows you, but I would say at some point it shows growth on you. But moving to another place and seeing those another people living their lives or living in a way that aligns with their dreams, if you understand me, that aligns with their dreams and aligns with their passions. So for me, moving from Villierdorp to Cape Town, for an example, in 2022, I left Villierdorp to live in Fulham and started to study at Northern College in Panorama. So traveling back to back from Fulham to Panorama, I started to see how people live. In Villierdorp, you realize that damn shit, my mind is boxed in to another shit.
You conform to what the people are doing in your community. When you're in a small community, you're just narrow-minded. What the others are also doing, you also partake in it.
Yes.
And the way of thinking is also boxed in. But once you are exposed to a bigger demographic population, you tend to think also outward.
Yes, your mind starts to be open to new challenges, to challenges that actually build your life. You see, moving from Villierdorp to Fulham is actually part of building your life, making sure you are building something that adds value to your life in a longer run.
Okay. So now, can you talk about the music side of having like the packaging of that song or anything that you want to package?
Let me start from PR to brand strategy and creative solutions. Emphasizing on PR actually helps you and your release to get more traction. Especially with if you start, let me make an example. If you start by posting saying, okay, I'm releasing on next month. This is, for example, I'm releasing this month. Then the following step you're going to take as a part of PR is to approach journalists, media outlets, Cape Town TVs, to actually talk about more about your release and the future plans.
Okay.
So even if you don't focus on PR only or focus brand strategy or creative solution is also part of the PR.
Oh, okay. So, what is your end goal or your goal so far from what you are doing right now?
My end goal is actually to help more artists with the press releases and press kits, and that's what I'm busy with.
Yeah.
Busy with this.
So for you personally, there isn't like any goal that you would say, I want this, I want that. You would say when you just want to help other people to push further their own dreams.
You see, as a human, it's important to have plans. My plans for now, from 20 until 30, is to actually invest to the culture.
Okay.
Then after I'm 30, I'll grow this thing.
Sure.
So
what culture are we talking about? Can you tell them what culture are we talking about? Why it's important for you to push this culture further, to invest in it?
Like in terms of culture?
Yeah, culture, like the culture that you're talking about.
I'm talking about keep the entertainment scene.
Sure. Can you talk about that now? Like why it's very important for you to invest in that culture and for that culture to grow and become something that's gonna be bigger?
Because from staying in Villierdorp, I realized how many artists are failing to have middlemen between media outlets and themselves, between media outlets and themselves, to realize that to uncover their journeys.
Sure.
Especially if an artist from Overberg or Cape One Lands, most of the artists don't even know what is a press release. Even approaching a journalist or a TV show is a lie to them.
Okay. It's the same thing. Like I would say, like from where I'm coming from, East London, there are guys like bro there who are very creative.
Yes.
You know, they are very creative in the music side, the sound they are doing, even the entertainment scene. And for me to say that when I was growing up there, like I would say like at the age of 15, 16, there were guys that were hosting big parties, bro, and they were not known. For us, like for people like who are coming from Johannesburg, you would know a party of someone who's an influencer, who's big, and it's becoming something big. And from there also, like there are guys that were bubbling, and they are known there in East London. And when they're pushing now something, it wouldn't have been something that is much bigger comparing to someone from Johannesburg who know about it when we are there in East London. So can you talk about that, the investment structure to the culture, to the kids who are doing music at that side, doing entertainment at that side, doing arts and everything, man, that involves like creativity, because the government doesn't fully invest in that thing. Or it's more of like people are being picked. You would know that people from Johannesburg, they sort of have like a better infrastructure than people from East London, better infrastructure than people from Western Cape. So can you talk about those things, bro?
So in Overberg, most of the artists, even the municipalities in Overberg, do not support the local artists. So that's a part of the reason why the Overberg or the Cape One Lands are not part of or regarded as part of the Cape Town entertainment scene. For example, when was the last time we hear artists Pumai from Overberg or something like that?
We never had one.
See that.
And that's the
if local government were invested to creativity and arts, or maybe it would be better.
Yeah.
You are right. You are an entertainment writer. You've covered Xhosa rap. You've covered females, DJs. You've done everything that is regards to the entertainment industry in Cape Town, and you've also DJ too. What do you think about Xhosa rap?
Xhosa rap, well, I think in a collective moment, in a collective perspective, I'll say the culture is growing, but I'm making a mistake. In the individual perspective, the culture is growing, but in a collective moment, in a collective perspective, it's not growing.
Okay. Can you tell me that?
Get further.
You see, for example, if you look at the past 5 years, 6 years, when was the last time you hear the rapper booming more than Tikwala, or for example, Tikwala is a well-established artist now. So you see, after Uti, when was the last time you hear the rapper? I'm not talking about the bubbling under rapper, or you see, a well-established.
Yeah.
The rapper that has reached the height of South African hip-hop scene.
It's like K-Kid has reached the height of South African.
I'm talking about Xhosa rap.
She's also a Xhosa rap. She represents the Kaap.
Not really.
Kanjani.
Not really. She
puts
delving
Xhosa in her
in-
raps, dog.
She's delving into the English side for the most
Mentioning-
part. When she's doing like her own songs, it's not Xhosa. When we're talking
But it's
about
not Xhosa
rap,
vernacular.
nah, not really, bro.
Not really. She just dropped Karani with Orish. What do you mean,
Not
dog?
really, bro.
Not really.
Can you say what you want to say, bro?
Mentioning a Xhosa word in a vernac phrase does not mean you're vernacular rap.
But Karani is like a vernacular extended play.
I'm not talking about a single, I'm talking about a full
It's
project.
not. It's a full project. It's an EP.
I need to listen to that project again because I don't really.
The project she did with Orish.
Yeah.
I think it's bonkers. She has Butleche, she has Utikuala, she has.
That's why like, we need to
Yeah,
listen to that project then we'll hear that.
Yeah.
Then we'll hear that. So what's the other thing you wanna say, bro?
We were talking about the Xhosa rap.
Oh yeah.
So who do you think like is really pushing the boundary when it comes to representation of the Xhosas?
I would say T. Yeah, T. No, why? Because most of the people say Tikwala represent the main perspective because of how she raps. You see? For me, it's all about the impact and the influence. Ukuva umntana se-Khayelitsha or for example, umntana se-Grab or Worcester, even they can author in a way Tikwala authors. Indlela thina ngayo Tikwala bayakwazi ukuthetha nokwabo. Does it mean ke impact kaTikwala ikhona way beyond iKhayelitsha nemfuleni nekwalanga, way beyond, you see. For me, it's all about the impact and influence. Hence, I say Tikwala for me.
But in a national scale, is it still D?
In the national scale, yeah, I would say D. Because
But of Flash, like the niggas are putting it on.
Nah, there's a difference between aesthetical perspective and the work perspective.
The work perspective.
Yeah, you see, yeah, Flash I'm gonna agree. He put in the work there in Johannesburg, but Tikwala, for me, in terms of aesthetical speaking, he has a more influence more than Flash Mungwana for me.
So how do you feel about the music now that like, we are delving in, like writing, like for instance, like you write about a song and then you just listen to the song. For instance, like on your blog, you did write about the album of Salty Ijana. Yeah. So how was that experience now, writing about that album, listening to the album over and over, and then taking a pen and writing down like your thoughts? Even if like it's not that album, like for you, like just going in that phase where you say now I'm gonna listen to this album and then I'm gonna write down what I'm hearing, what are my thoughts, what was happening, what was transpiring when you're on your first listening. So yeah.
In my first year as an intermittent writer in music and life, writing was all about my thoughts until Tanam Zotandero approached me about certain things that were happening. You see. So I stopped about writing in my own thoughts. I asked the artists to send their press releases. So to answer your question, for me, listening to their music and penning down my thoughts regarding their music, with regards to their music, it was always about how if the music has a relatability or what. See, it was always about relatability for me. Yeah.
So we business mostly unity artist ba umculo wazo reach a much larger audience, right?
Yes.
So what would you say, since we are also educating upcoming artists through you and through the business that you are in, what would you say, since you've also answered on Tikuala having an impact more than other artists, right? So what would you say is the thing that Tikuala did correctly, right? Because there are many others that are talented, but they're not reaching the brands, they're not reaching these heights that Tikuala is reaching. What would you say is the things that Tikuala did correctly to be where she is?
Working with a team that can envision Africa in the world. Working with a team like such as Section Africa. I'm not sure if you know about that. Section 9 Africa is a part of her team, which is not based here. It's based in Johannesburg and Northwest, because they are founders from Northwest, I think.
Okay, sure. And also like the aesthetics of working with broke guys.
Yes,
because she got like the swag from the broke guys also. Now incorporating that broke side from the videos and everything.
I mean, like,
so that was very important.
Zenathi, like being self-taught or less conventional in your approach often invites doubts from others, as that you are a self-taught writer, you pursue that, your passion, and through hard work that has led you to opening your own company, the Femela. How do you overcome the perception that you are not a professional writer, so I do not need to get the services from you? How do you approach those perceptions? Because in the a certificate that professionalizes everything, so easy perceptions.
Having come across from the perception in genre that I'm not a professional writer or something. So for me, attending workshop, meeting with people, and educating myself more about writing perspective. So it was important for that. Until utamzo athi kumna manibhale ngendlela different from a journalist ezifundileyo, they're well qualified, indlela ezifundileyo then ibhale ngayo, because for me, if I tell who I can bring my own unique approach.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so in closing, man, what do you want to say to the guy who feels like this thing is not gonna work? This thing it's something that I feel like it's hard to reach. What would you say to those guys?
Before that, I have one last one. Before the advice, let's play something. It's just a quick game. Towards J1 must go. Greg, no Kayong. One must go.
Kayong.
Bravo Salty.
Salty stays, Bravo goes.
Tikuala okanye okay kid.
Tikuala stays in cricket goes.
Put legend or flash.
In terms of pen, I'll give it to legend, but
lookup apps or simulation reps.
In terms of pen, I'll give it to the simulation reps.
That's it. You can give the people the advice. The advice. The advice I can give you, just go after your dreams, chase your passions, educate yourself more about what you want and your passion, and find another revenues to make a man from.
Okay. In the guise of Cupcast, We are here to close. We out.